Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night. When I say the place to be, we're somewhere different tonight because Twitch is having some conniptions, and we're off on YouTube for this evening's race. But that, of course, doesn't mean that the racing stops. We keep on going, and the show must go on. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me for round 12 here at Belle tonight is the chaotic one himself. He's back. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, welcome back. Hopefully, a trouble-free night of racing ahead of us.
Oh, we can only hope, Alex, but Belle Isle is definitely one difficult beast to try and tame. There are walls absolutely everywhere. If this was Australia, this would probably be Adelaide, because that is the level of difficulty of this track, as we already have pretty much everyone on track getting ready to set laps here at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Now we are in quali, so I'm going to try and get some some info up here if we can find the right spots here. Let's just go there. I tell you what, it's all happening here tonight, folks. We're trying to get the show on the road, but the whole thing is proving quite problematic. Oh, you know what? It might help, Alex, if you went live, because that'd about do it. There we go. Tell you what, it's really thrown me, this Twitch stuff being down, but we've got a few out there. Just over 4K, did you say the strength of field was here tonight, Corey?
Yeah, strength of field tonight is a 4,008, Alex, and it's great to see that we got the numbers back for the main dance. This is what we come out to see. It's still, I think, the second highest of the week compared to the pre-race, the warm-up race, as we like to call it, but still, nonetheless, a decent field that we've gathered here for tonight's racing action.
Yeah, 100%. Now let's check out the championship standings here as we come into round 12. Dominating with the penultimate week in the season all over has been Benny Simonson sitting out there on top. Lee Anderson grabbing P2, the UK&I driver. Manu Luqueta, who's in chat tonight, is sitting there in P3 for Thrustmaster Ivano. Christian Perez, who hasn't been, it doesn't look like he's here tonight, unless I'm mistaken. He's in P4, and Anthony Catt for P5. Leading ANZ driver is, of course, Team Bossman for Team Milo, Russell Clark, who is, of course, out there again tonight. Is he in the top split, or has he missed it? No, there he is. He's currently sitting in sixth. So hopefully for Russell, he'll have another crack out there tonight, Corey.
Yeah, well, that's right, Alex, and we can only hope. Sixth place at the moment, seventh, as one of the other drivers just popped up on top of him. That's definitely not a bad effort for Russell there. Normally we don't see him so high up in qualifying, so it's definitely a relief to see. Also, the 16-plated car of Paul Beatty making it into the top split. We were talking to him just before this race went up, and he was unsure about whether he'd make the top split tonight. So it's good to see Paul Beatty in there. At the moment, our leading AusNZ driver is going to be their teammate, the number 10 of Ben Snell for VDR Team Milo, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. We just see Snell making a welcome return from the booth instead of in the track instead of the booth. As Simonson sets the purple time there, 43.7, doing quite well around here, no doubt. He's great in quality. On the Puce powered machine, Lee Anderson, he'll be the next one to cross the line on the tail end. Oh no, he's warming down. He's done. Who we got? Mr. Clark. No, I'm just trying to see who's on a hot lap. The only one I can see who's on a hot lap would be Dennis Johansson. Tell you what, he'd be one to ride on board with. Why don't we hop on board with Dennis Johansson here as he takes us around the inner circle there at the midst to later stages of the track. I was watching Dennis earlier in the week, Corey, and he was throwing the thing around here.
Well, sometimes you've got to be really aggressive with a track like Belle Isle. The curbs are super high in a lot of the places, and if you hit them just right, it can actually help you turn into the corner slightly better, but they can also really bug you off. As you can see there, Dennis trying so hard to not touch the curbs because he doesn't want to get his qualifying lap thrown off, because if you throw off on the curbs, it could cost you, 3/10. It could even cost you your entire lap, because they could spit you off into the wall very quickly, which are always looming just there at the side of the track, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. As Johansson's now finished his lap, and Quali has indeed finished. Johansson jumping up only to P9 as it turns out. So why don't we take a look at our grid here tonight for round 12 at Belle Isle. We've got Benny Simonson on pole, as has become a custom in this season of Sunday Night Lights. Seb Schultz joins us again in P2. Martin Booker, not his first rodeo here from UK&I. He's in P3. The Puce powered machine, Lee Anderson, starts from P4 tonight. Team Milo's Ben Snell, recovering after a troublesome warm-up race. He's in P5. Alvaro Garcia, similarly, he's in P6. Team Bossman for Team Milo is 7th tonight, is Russell Clark. Mark Van Dalen from UK&I, he's backed up in P8. Dennis Johansson, great to see the RLL Abruzzi eSport driver out of P9 tonight. Not his preferred P11, only P9. Paul Beatty for Team Milo. Top 10 quali for Paul Beatty. Fantastic qualification there for Paul. Craig Biley, he's back for ANZ. He's in P11. Mario Sanudo from Iberia is in P12. As we progress down, P13 tonight, Yoshitaka Sonata from Japan. P14 tonight, Igowitz Ballart from Iberia. John Scholz, the other Team Milo driver, in 15th off the grid. Matthew Turnbull from UK&I. Doesn't look like he set a time. I'm wondering, there's been some issues with network tonight all over the shop. Turnbull is suffering from that by the look, as is Espers and Grebstad, none of whom I think set a time, nor did Ballard. And then we had issues in the warm-up race, Corey, and I'm wondering if that's happened this time around as well.
I'm just having a look through the server status at the moment, Alex, and I see Johansson did receive a throughput. Espers has received a throughput. Jarski received a throughput, and Ballard only just received his throughput not long ago. So it's definitely going to cause some havoc here if this continues to happen. Luckily for us, Dennis did rejoin, but I think we are about to go green as the cars are on the start light. Red lights mean rev, and green lights mean go. We're underway here for round number 12 at Belle Isle, Alex.
As the flag marshal vigorously waves his flag once again, and the drivers all head down into the first opening. Well, it's a pretty sweeping chicane at turn 1 and 2, and everyone flicking it out near the wall. They get very close as the rear of the car gets very loose over there. There's a little crest, and the guys now coming down into turn 1. Can they go 2-3 wide? Simonson taking the racing line, feeling safe from Schultz behind. The 8-car Martin Booker's come in, no problems. Everyone's seemingly getting through that treacherous early corner there down the end of Central Avenue at turn 3 safely as they continue round now through 4 and 5 onto the big back straight out of 6 up to Strand Drive as they turn through there. Drop it down to second and up the big back straight, Corey. Everyone seemed to get away okay.
Everyone except for Russell Clark there, Alex. He had a half lose coming out of turn 4, and unfortunately he was also collected by his teammate John Scholz. But John looks like he's been able to continue on as it's 3 wide in front of him with Paul Beatty. I think Mario Saunders in there and Mark van der Leyen. And these guys are racing very hard in the early laps, and around goes Paul Beatty. I think he got a tap there, Alex.
Yeah, it may have done. Let's go back and have a quick look, see what happened. They got 3 wide there at the end of the big back straight. So we slow it down there. What do we see? Just trying to see. He's turned in at turn 8 there and just not clear. A little bit of net code, but certainly not clear by the 18 car. Just poking the nose up there, probably where it shouldn't have been. As I think Beatty's now continuing on in P12, Corey.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Beatty, but you know he will pick up from this and he will try and make whatever he can out of this race. Unfortunately, it looks like those network issues are still playing havoc for the likes of Dennis Johansson and Ballard as well. So that is actually really unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing a DJ charge through the field. But at the front of the pack, we have Simonson leading the way from Sebastian Scholes. And it's looking like it's a little bit of a cracking race going on at the front here, Alex.
Yeah, Linerstone they are. Could see a long string here back down to, what's the top 5 now? Snell on the back of these guys, just hanging on. And he's got in tow with him, Garcia. Those two had it coming together last race at turn 3 on lap 1, as is often the case at this place. Oh, there's another big accident there. Beatty driving past it. Who was it? Van Dalen. And let's go see, I think it was Sanudo.
Mario Sanudo,
yeah. There we go. We're just going to follow these guys around. This is on replay. Oh, he's hit the wall. He ran at turn 6, and parts of the car have then hit Sanudo, Van Dalen. He went into the wall, and Sanudo jumped over the nose cone, which seemingly then reattached itself onto Van Dalen. And but Sanudo's got desperately unlucky out of that. What a shame for the UK&I driver Van Dalen and Sanudo, Iberian driver who's now in the pits as the leaders drive by at the start of lap 3, Corey.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. It's bad enough getting taken out by debris, but then getting taken out by debris that randomly respawns onto the car where it came from. That just adds a little bit of insult to injury, as the leaders are still lined to stern here. No one really making a move at the moment. We'll probably start seeing them getting a little bit more aggressive towards 5 to go. These early laps are more about just trying to build a gap to the rest of the pack at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, 100%. As Booker now tucked in behind in P3, Seb Schultz and Benny Simonson leading the way out now. Anderson in the Puce Powered Machine in P4, Ben Snell in P5 at risk of dropping away there, is he? Yeah, 1.3 seconds now off the back, and he'll be back fighting with Garcia in no time. Ben not done a lot of practice around here as Ben Snell, but as we see a change in the lead, do we? Simonson defending up the inside at turn 7. Gives Schultz the inside at turn 8 now, this time round. Oh, they're going to go side by side, are they? Oh, it looks like Simonson's hoping to get the inside run into 11. Through 9, through 10 now, into 11. Will he get the inside? Oh, fantastic driving from our leaders here tonight. And it took about half a dozen corners, but Sebastian Schultz has got it done, Corey.
And that was an incredible sequence of moves, Alex. That started all the way back in turn 5. Benny Simonson made a little bit of a mistake, and it looked like he just grazed the wall with his right rear, which just ruined his momentum going into 6 and along the back straight ever so slightly. And that was all Sebastian Schultz needed to take the lead away from him. Now it's probably going to be just a little bit of a waiting game here for Simonson to come up with a fight back plan to get back around Schultz. But it's going to be interesting to watch how this is going to unfold from here, especially if there might be a little bit of damage to that right rear suspension on Simonson's car.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. Sorry, just had a bit of audio trouble there. Hopefully my mic's a bit better now. Tell you what, everything can and could go wrong tonight, has done. So, but we're back on track now with this race. Look, unfolding beautifully in front of us. We got the 5 cars back now, because Snell's been able to get on the back and make it a 5-car pack once again. And not too far before we see Garcia in the orange car, orange and blue. Iberian driver there, he might be able to grab on the back here, some 1.2 seconds behind now, but the action is still up in front. This time round, Simonson going up the inside, and Will Schultz challenge him, just shows the nose, rides the big curb through 7, but perhaps thinking discretion the better part of value. I tell you what, it's pretty scary through there last time round, Corey.
Yeah, but Simonson didn't really give Schultz a chance to fight back up on the inside of 7 there. You notice he cut right across and took the curb as well. And these drivers, they're really pushing it right now, Alex. I'm just noticing with some of the camera angles that I've got going on here, these guys are getting incredibly close to the wall. And if one of them just broke loose ever so slightly, which we do know skippies to do sometimes, especially on a flat street circuit like this, it could spell disaster for one of these top 5 with how hard they're pushing. And in turn, especially if it's someone at the front like a Simonson or a Schultz, that could probably spell disaster for the entire top 5, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Very easy to get caught up at this place, Corey, of course. Very narrow walls everywhere. But yeah, look at this. Top 6 now in a line. Coming into one, probably, it's almost the best passing opportunity in the joint here at turn 3, but they're still line astern. Look at them using all the track there. That's how you know they're carrying a lot of speed through there at turn 3. They spew out wide, get a little bit on the grass. It's one of the few places as we see Schultz nearly extend beyond the track limits there, which of course here in most places is just a concrete barrier. But he's getting it done nonetheless, and continues on unabated.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And as I said, these guys are pushing super hard right now. We've only got about 9.5 laps left to run as the drivers make their way down the back straight into 7. But these guys are already pushing the absolute limit as we see Martin Booker just about take out the wall there on the exit of 7. The car just stepped down on him ever so slightly, and that's what I was saying, Alex. Just one tiny little mistake, and that was almost the end of Martin's race right there. So these guys definitely leaving no bars hold, and they are absolutely pushing every single opportunity they get here, Alex.
Yeah, as we close out lap 5 of 14 here, coming through the last couple of corners now at 13.14. One of the few places to get up to 5th gear. There's probably 3 all said and done. As we see the leaders now, Simonson and Schultz running through, and they've almost got a gap, have they? What are they, about 6 tenths? No, they won't get away there. This is the other place, of course, up Central Avenue, down into turn 3, where you get the full legs of the Skippy out into 5th gear. Bit of draft here, and he might get away. I'll tell you what, this is a front pack of 5, but they're kind of strung out here with Simonson and Schultz really setting the pace, and the others just starting to look as though they're just hanging on, Corey.
I think that one mistake that Martin made on the previous lap in turn 7 really attributed to this gap starting to form. But with him still being in the draft range, he could, in theory, bridge that gap again. It's all going to be down to how he can attack the corners. He's going to get a little bit more aggressive than what he was before, so he can try and maybe make it up in the slower sections, like the 8, 9, 10 section here, and try and bridge that gap and try and make a race out of this, which is not going to be easy, Alex.
No, I tell you what, Booker's nearly off the back here, and the rest of the field really spread out. The closest thing to a battle we've got now is Belle and Sonata. They're less than a second separating them for, what's that, 8th and 9th position. John Skolt's having a fantastic drive, leading the charge of the hard charger award at the moment, up 8 spots just ahead of Sonata and Belle. He's missing his front nose cone, bit of war damage on the Team Milo car, and he's well off the back of that pack, some 6, nearly 7 seconds behind Garcia, who's fallen off Snell, who he himself is just hanging on to the back of the top 5. He's about 6, 7 tenths behind. Look at them. They're just almost lone soldiers at the moment. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for the draft, I reckon Simpson would be driving away from him.
Oh, that'd be exactly right, Alex, because we know Simpson has a lot of pace, especially when it comes to those tighter, twisty little areas. And, he's definitely showing his worth right now as a race car driver, trying to push out that gap as much as he can. But, that draft is always going to keep everyone else just in it. Even that gap from 2nd to 3rd has closed up ever so slightly. So these guys are, trying their best to stay with him. I'm not sure how well they're going to be able to do it, though, because Simpson just looks so fast right now, Alex.
Well, I'll tell you what, even with draft, he managed to pull this gap. He's almost got the magic second. He was 4 tenths quicker than Seb Schultz's last lap, if you can believe it. So he's, dare we say, leading from the front, but he's really cutting a path here for these guys and showing how it's done. And now he is a full second ahead of Seb Schultz. And who knows from here if Schultz can bridge that gap.
Well, he's definitely going to be trying, Alex, because one thing Sebastian Schultz doesn't like is finishing second. One thing he doesn't like even more than that is finishing second to Simonson. So he's definitely going to be wringing the neck of that little Skippy, and I think we might have to call the paramedics for the Skippy afterwards. But in saying that, having a look back in the field a little bit here, 7th place is going to be the 15 car of John Skoltz, and he's just in no man's land at the moment, Alex, as we reach the halfway stage.
Yeah, just looking at the lap times over the last 5 laps, and in the last 2, Simonson's put on, 7 tenths nearly, and that's where that gap of just over a second's come from, and that's really where it's been won. But as where it's been run and won almost, really now it's Simonson's race to lose. As you say, Skoltz is out on his own still. He's got 3.5 seconds gap between he and Belle and Sonato having a race amongst themselves. Behind them, you've got the 2 Milo boys, Russell Clark and Paul Beatty. One of the team mortals will come out there, although they're both in the Sunday Night Lights points. Van Dalen, by the looks, is behind them, or they're getting lapped. I think they might be getting lapped. They might be getting lapped. Anyway, back up the front. Oh, as we see, Seb Schultz has closed right back up, has he? No, I was just reading the timing wrong. It's a battle for P2 by the looks, as we see the multicoloured car of Simonson right off into the distance through 9. Down through 10 now goes Seb Schultz in P2 with Booker, Anderson and Snell's dropped off. So it's now a 3-car battle for P2 on the dais there, Corey.
Yeah, I think Ben Snell maybe just trying to punch above his weight here a little bit. We know that he hasn't exactly been practicing too much, which attributes to that. But, you know, it's still a very stout effort from the leading Oz NZ driver at the moment to be in 5th and still trying to be in a somewhat reasonable area if disaster were to strike for our top 4, Alex.
Yeah, as Benny Simonson sets the fastest lap, a blistering 42.7, if you don't mind. And that's, what's that, something like 5 tenths or thereabouts? Let me just have a look here. 6 tenths quicker than Schultz last lap, and that gap is just going to open up from here by the looks. And as we say often, it's Simonson's race to lose from here, with now Schultz and Booker almost getting away from Anderson and making it a two-way battle for that second step on the podium.
You know, they're just ever so slightly pulling away from the 4th place Lee Anderson in the Puce-powered machine. And this race is starting to string out just a lot more than I thought it would, Alex. When we were watching the warm-up race, top 7 stayed pretty close until the dire stages when everyone started going a little bit bonkers. But this is just nice, cool, calm and collected. Has really become quite a bit of a driver's race when I was probably expecting it to be more of a battle of the draft fest.
Yeah, I was expecting a bit of line of stern. Not, pretty brave to do what Schultz and Simonson did around here early on, as we ride on board with Martin Booker now, the UK&I driver, tucked in behind Schultz in P2 now. They've got a little bit of a gap there. What are they out to? About a second now to Anderson behind them. And look, these guys, as you say, I was expecting a bit of line of stern. I was very surprised to see Schultz and Simonson go side by side early on. But these guys now, the writing's on the wall. I think Simonson's really stamped his authority around here tonight, Corey.
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. And barring any kind of mistake, which, as we said earlier, could come from absolutely anywhere. Simonson's got this one all sewn up. The battle that we're watching right now is for the minor placings on the podium, which is between Schultz and Booker. And even then, these two are going to be unfeathered for their podium battle. So it's all going to be down to whether one of these two maybe makes a mistake, because they're going to be battling pretty hard here with the balance of about 4.5 laps left to run in this race, Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Corey. I think those two are going to battle it out, and Simonson just driving away with it at the moment. As Anderson, he's got a sniff there. He's 1.1. If he gets his head down, and he might be able to do it. Snell there sitting in P5, now 3.5 seconds behind. Further 3.5 close is Alvarez. John Schultz some 5 seconds behind Garcia. Sonata and Biley still locked in their battle there, as we see Biley look to go around the outside if he can. The 11 car, the 17 car of Sonata holding him off very nicely there, defending. Oh, he tried to poke the nose up there, did Biley. Will that cost him? Will that cost him the toe there? I'll tell you what, that's very brave through 8, 9 and 10 there from the ANZ driver, Corey.
Well, he wouldn't be an ANZ driver if they weren't trying to be aggressive, Alex. We've seen it time and time again, both in real life and in sim. And Riley definitely trying to turn up the heat here. But going back to that battle for second now, and these two with 4 laps left to run in this race, Alex, starting to get a little bit racy with each other. Booker just poking the nose out, showing it to Schultz as they come down that second straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys now going down through the turn 4 or 5 complex. Now very, very important corner at turn 6. You want to almost kiss that inside wall, almost rub the wall on the outside. A little bit conservative there from Booker, not using quite as much of the real estate as Schultz was. You can see the little bit of a gap there. It's only 3 tenths, and it'll close up under draft, but really it looks like Schultz really pushing the limit of the track in the car tonight, Corey. See if he can't break away from the UK and I driver behind him in Booker.
Well, he's definitely trying to do so, Alex, but I think also as Booker just tapped the wall coming through turn 8, that Booker is just showing the nose a little bit, trying to see if he can tempt Schultz into making a mistake, because he knows that Schultz will be pushing as hard as he can right now to try and pull away and try and catch up to Simonson. And with that, you just show the nose a little bit every now and then, and when you actually force him to get a little bit of a radio call, it can sometimes send the driver in front into a little bit of panic and make them make a mistake, Alex.
Yeah, potentially. There's plenty of places to show the nose around here and really get the driver you're battling with unsettled. But so far, Schultz really has a cool head, has shown a very cool head. Simonson actually coming back to these guys a little bit, down to about 1.5 seconds. I don't know if he's short-fueled or he's just trying to make a race of it. His last lap was a 44 dead, some 9/10 slower than the guys behind him. Let's go take a look at those lap times. You can see, yeah, look at that, 8/10, nearly 9/10 slower. I don't know if he's slowing down deliberately or he made a mistake. Maybe the neighbours come over for a cup of sugar or something while he was around there, but certainly giving the guys behind a sniff, Corey.
He is indeed, Alex. It dropped the gap down to 1.5 seconds, which I think he's just trying to maintain at the moment. He wanted to make it look at least a little bit closer than what he was doing before. But another possibility, Alex, is he didn't want to maybe get his flow interrupted by the soon-to-be lap car of the 12, Mark Vanderlen. He's not exactly running the best race here, is old Mark, but it looks like he might be under threat for going a lap down here shortly.
Yeah, Mark, you may remember, was involved in that incident early on at turn 6 where I think it was he clipped the wall and then someone trailing behind Sonudo, I think it was, ran over his car piece, or at least a piece of his car. As we see now, Booker putting all sorts of pressure all over Schultz. We got the penultimate time round, 42.7. I tell you what, Simonson's back on it. He's just gone 6/10, or was that, 5/10 faster than the guys in front. It's Seb Schultz, as we see Booker now pulled far left. Is he going to try and go around the outside of turn 3, or is he just looking to tuck in behind, as we see Simonson just going through turn 3 ahead of these two? The gloves will be off shortly, no doubt. A little bit more conservative. You can see these guys not quite using all the runoff in the exit of turn 3 there. Not carrying quite as much as the speed as we saw previously. But this time round through turn 5, now coming up to 6, very important corner, of course. And again, you see Schultz using every bit of the track there, just that little bit wider on exit, carrying more speed. But what can Booker make of the last lap, Corey? Who's your money on, shall we say, for the top 2 and 3 positions on the podium tonight?
Well, it's going to be hard to put it past Schultz. I mean, Booker is putting all kinds of pressure on him. But I just believe Schultz has the natural pace to hold him off at the moment. And, just the way that he's using every little bit of the track, as we've detailed, is what's pointing me towards this. Because if Booker tries to go for the move in turn 3, which I think he might be looking at trying to do, Schultz will probably try and get him back on that back straight going into 7, because Schultz wouldn't want to be sitting there in 3rd for too much longer.
No, well, he hasn't got much longer to go as they come through the final corners here at 13.14. Up Pleasure Drive. No, that's the next road across. I don't know if it's a red light district or what, but anyway, that's stories for another time. As we see our second-seated driver now. He's got a bit of a gap. I'll tell you what, Booker's not going to get the run on him into turn 3, which of course is the prime passing opportunity. That leaves at turn 7. Really his final opportunity, unless he really wants to get busy through those challenging sections of 8, 9 and 10, and into turn 11 will be the final spot. So he's got to close up a bit here, tighter angle on entry, uses more of the exit, carries more speed through 3, does Booker up behind Schultz now. It's about half a second though. I think he's probably too far behind now. 4.5 as they go through turn 4 now, up to 5 through 6 now. I tell you what, I don't think he's close enough, Corey. Oh, but Schultz has hit the wall on exit. He's carried too much speed. Has that damaged the suspension? Oh, no, he hasn't. He's kept going, Corey. What? That's a remarkable piece of luck.
Oh, that is incredibly lucky, Alex. He has managed to keep ahead, and it doesn't look like he's got any damage at all, taking all the curb in turn 7 as they go into the 8, 9, 10, 11 section now. Booker is right there, but it's going to be very hard for him to try and initiate an overtake from here unless the lap car gets in the way in some way, shape, or form. But at the moment, Alex, it's looking like my call was right. It's going to be Schultz that's going to come in second. But Simonson's still out in front by 2.5 seconds now. He's definitely got this win wrapped up.
Yeah, as he takes the final, well, most of a corner now, comes up to the line. It is our season champion this season, Benny Simonson. We do have a round to go, but let's just crown him now and hand over the trophy because he's got it done. Seb Schultz getting in P2. Booker, his maiden podium, if I'm not mistaken. Lee Anderson crossing there for fourth as the leading ANZ driver in Ben Snell takes out a top 5 on his return to the cockpit in Sunday Night Lights and lets the rear of the car out in celebration. Vasquez coming home in 6th. Schultz, the second ANZ driver, second Team Milo driver, and he's done all right in P7. Briley dropped off his battle of Sonata in the end. Beatty won. Oh, hello. I don't know if that was a friendly nudge or what, but it was after the line. So, but the mechanics won't thank him for that. But Beatty looked like he's run a lap around Clark, who's going to cross the line. Is he going to cross the line? I don't think he's going to cross the line after that, Corey. That's a unique way to attempt. I'm wondering if that's going to cost him a spot. Perhaps he doesn't care at this point. He's only got Mark Van Dalen behind him. So, yeah, I think that's about all she... Oh, there's some shenanigans going on around the joint, Corey. But let's leave that to the drivers and their unique post-race celebrations as we take a look... can I get our race results? Or are we still waiting for someone to finish? No, there we go. Season 20, round 12 of Sunday Night Lights at Belle here tonight. Benny Simonson, flag to flag. He got the Triple Crown here tonight. Pole fastest lap. He led every lap. Oh, no, did he? Sebastian Schultz might have led one. But he certainly did the job out there, did Simonson. He's taken it lock, stock and barrel anyway. Seb Schultz drove a great race in P2 tonight. Well done to Schultz. Martin Booker in P3, I think from UK&I, that's his first podium. So congratulations to Booker. Lee Anderson in the Puce Powered Machine from UK&I, he's in P4. Ben Snell, leading Team Milo, leading ANZ driver here tonight in P5. Alvaro Garcia from Iberia in P6. Team Milo's John Schultz in P7. The Japanese driver of Yoshitaka Tsunada in P8. Craig Biley from ANZ in P9. Paul Beatty, next Team Milo driver in P10. Russell Clark for Team Milo as well in P11. Your final point scoring position for Sunday Night Lights, Mark Van Dalen from UK&I. P13 tonight, Mario Sanudo from Iberia. Dennis Johansson, Ego It's Ballard, Matthew Turnbull, Pablo Espes and Håkon Grebstad in 14th to 18th respectively, suffering the network gremlins that have put us to YouTube live tonight rather than Twitch, but also plaguing, by the looks of it, European drivers, some European drivers at least, of the iRacing service tonight, Corey.
And it's really unfortunate, Alex. I think those network issues have really robbed us of what could have been an absolutely grandstand, fantastic race. But unfortunately, that is the life of the sim racer, and that is, what we have to deal with every day. A little bit of network issues here and there, especially for us Australians being so far away from everyone else. But it's really unfortunate to see. Like we had the 3 car, the 6 car, and the 7 car, even the 5 car of Dennis Johansson, all suffering from network issues, and it's just never any fun when that happens. Hopefully, we can get that sorted out for next week, or iRacing can get that sorted out for next week, and we can have a full field again.
Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully we can back to Twitch as well. But look, it's part of online world these days. These things happen. But we've got a couple of people in the green room waiting to come up. The first of which is Mr. Ben Snell. Ben, welcome back to the track instead of the booth. Bit of excitement out there. A few people dropping out because of network, but you look to get a bit of a race of it, mate.
Yeah, I really can't complain with a top five with how much I've been driving recently and probably a little bit of pace that I've lacked in the last few weeks. So a bit lucky, unfortunately, we got robbed of some of the real fast guys by those network issues. So I was really surprised to qualify P5 and then hang on to the draft as long as I did. I don't think I blinked for like the first 6 laps. I was driving the car so hard, just trying to keep up with the guys in front of me. And then once I dropped off, I just basically cruised to the end. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, that's it, mate. The warm up race was similar. Seems to be a lot of network gremlins around tonight. Obviously, we're on YouTube instead of Twitch where we normally are, and then a lot of European drivers. I see a couple of names in there Turnbull, Espes, and Ballard who dropped 2 races because of network issues in a row, and that hurts, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when you've got the I rating that those guys have. Even with a 4K strength of field race, if you're a really high plated car and you don't rock up, you're losing 100 plus IR. So it's definitely going to hurt and take a long time to gather that back up.
Yeah, 100%, and that's a couple of months worth of racing there to try and earn that stuff back. But, mate, how did you enjoy Belle Isle? Seems to be a pretty popular track with these guys, but with the Skippy community, but and through most categories actually. Those walls looming ever larger, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Belle Isle is pretty much the only like full on true street circuit. We got Montreal as well, but that seems to be a little bit more open and forgiving compared to Belle Isle. It's really tight and really dangerous, and it's a great fun track to lap as well. It's good to race, but it's also good to lap. So you don't mind when you're just in the middle of nowhere and just cruising along because there's still danger around every corner, and you can still bin the car really easily, especially if you've got a certain green paint.
That's it. Speaking of green paint, mate, thanks for joining us. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Oh, of course, big shout out to you guys for putting the broadcast on. I was privy to the network issues and stuff like that at the start, so the last minute switch to YouTube, so we can still get the broadcast on, even though we didn't have a full field tonight. Of course, massive shout out to Team Milo in general. Great job by Scolty as well, coming from the back to get up to P7. And as always, Russell says hi.
Beautiful, thanks, Ben. Yeah, certainly tested us a little bit here tonight, but hey, the show must go on. So thanks for joining us, mate. Last week in the booth, this week out on track, and we look forward to seeing you back again soon.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
There you go, Corey, 1B Snell, joining us on track this evening. Bit of fun, and he's right. You know, this joint really rewards those who are committed, and those who overcommitted punishes, right?
Well, that's exactly right, Alex. And Ben still come away with a P5, which is absolutely fantastic. And he was talking about the I rating loss for some of those higher plated drivers. I'm just having a look now because the software that I've got allows me to see that. Um, Matthew Turnbull losing 110, Pablo Esparza losing 102, Håkon Grebstad losing 105. So those are not small amounts of I rating that these drivers are losing, and that is going to take them a very long time to get back, Alex.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't tickle, that's for sure. You got guys ranging from 6K down to 4.7 odd. And do you know what else it did? It robbed us of, probably another 3-4 drivers up near the front. So, nobody wins out of that, unfortunately. But it is part of online racing. We have, once again, in for the full SNL experience, you got Mr. P. Beatty, Paul. We just saw some of your action early on, 2 and almost 3 wide at the end of the big back straight there. Looked like you had a bit of fun in the early stages, at least.
Well, I'd say I got taken out by a bit of an ambitious move by car 18. Then I don't think there was room for him, and then he was a lap car and he decided to race me under blue flag. So I completely lost touch with Craig and Yoshitaka. So yeah, I've had better races, but P10's all right, I suppose.
Yeah, we just saw that incident. We watched it actually live and we just caught it again. And the right rear looks, I'm just waiting for it to magically, there it is. Droids at work. You were lucky to get away with that one with just the bent rear wing, I think, because the the wall into the right rear looks to break the rear suspension, but look, it's an unfortunate one, and you're right, he probably wasn't there. A little bit of net coat on what we saw, but certainly soured what otherwise could have been a great race. But a top 10, nothing to sneeze at, mate.
Yeah, it could have been better if the car wasn't knackered, maybe. But oh well, these things happen. Where's next week? Is it Zandvoort? Is it?
I believe we're everything old is new again. We're going for our second trip for the unique experience of official Week 13 racing.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Well, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Oh, everyone in Team Milo, go Milo, and you guys are putting it on. I'll see you next time, folks. Cheers.
Beautiful. Thanks, Paul. Talk to you then. There you go, Corey. One Paul Beatty joining us once again for that full experience that we have here at the Top Split, although albeit on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And it's always good to have Paul in chat with us here. He's always a little bit of a character. It's unfortunate that he had those issues in race, but still come away with some SNL points in P10. And I'm sure he and the Team Milo will be very wrapped with that because all four of the Team Milo cars in point scoring positions, Alex. And that is definitely quite the achievement for a four-car team in top split racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've got our race winner here, one Benny Simonson. Benny, the Triple Crown here tonight. Pole fastest lap, and what a fastest lap it was. And then you drove away for the win, mate. Couldn't do much better than that.
Hey guys, yeah, no, that was good. Can't complain really. I nearly binned it trying to get faster that, but yeah, got away with that one.
Yeah, I did wonder about that. We saw you drop nearly a full second to the guys behind, and we didn't catch it. I wonder if it was a lap car, but it was just a bit of trying to go that little bit faster, was it?
Yeah, I think it was lack of talent or kissing the wall. I, I'm quite lucky you didn't catch it, but I think if you saw it, then you'd be quite surprised that the car was still going after that. I actually thought it was game over.
Yeah, well, a few people got lucky here tonight, a few unlucky as well. I'd count yourself lucky, not because of the win so much as plenty of the folks over from Europe missed out because of network issues, and that robbed us a little bit of the stronger field here tonight out on track, but certainly nothing to sneeze at there. You've had a great season. We got Week 13, which will be official next season, but it looks to me as though not only have you taken out SNL, but you've likely to have taken out the official series by some margin. And it's not like you've been short of a race either, mate. You've been out on track a lot this season. You enjoying the skippies?
Yeah, I haven't actually tried for the official. I just log on and drive. So a bit surprised to hopefully take the official one as well. But obviously these races are amazing because it's the best of the best who all comes in at this point of the day. So obviously very bit of a shame today that some of the best drivers out there didn't get in. Obviously rather have a good battle up front. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame for them, but the race is always good at this time slot.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully it'll be the same for next week and the seasons to come. But thank you very much for joining us tonight, Benny. We do appreciate your support on track and off. And anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just you guys as always. Thanks for hosting it all. So yeah, cheers guys.
Thanks, Benny, and we'll hopefully see you in the coming week or so.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
There you go, Corey. 1B Simonson, who did it all out there tonight. 42-7, undrafted. It's about 2/10 quicker than Booker, who had the draft of Schultz. I mean, really, that says it all, doesn't it? The guy was the class of the field, as it turns out tonight.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. And Simonson, I just went back to have a look at what the incident was, and he is a very, very lucky person. He hit the curb, the actual natural street curb, on the inside of turn 6, and that just about spelt disaster for him. All four wheels got into the air for a brief few moments there. It was an incredible sight. But that just goes to speak to the talent level of Benny Simonson. He said that he may have ran out of talent, but he definitely found the talent again straight away when he got going again, Alex.
Yeah, well, that's that's part of racing around here, isn't it? You get some, you win some, you lose some, but still, the driving early on with Schultz and Simonson was fantastic as well through the middle sections at 8, 9, 10, and Schultz really putting it to Simonson early on. But unfortunately, unable to stick with him, and Simonson running away with it. But that, folks, is about us for tonight. Corey, what have you got on in the coming week?
Well, since I didn't run NIS on Friday, I'm going to be running tomorrow morning's NIS, which is the last chance to get that done before the track change next week, which I think we're going to Darlington next week. So that's going to be a little bit scary. We got the first round of the playoffs in the Output Racing League on Wednesday. So that one should be an absolutely cracking race. You can find that one over at my broadcast channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_sim_commentator. We've got no more ODSE, no more Fastlane Esports. They're both in off season at the moment. So Friday morning, if I'm awake in time, will be NIS from Darlington. And Saturday, the final round of the US ANZ League for the season as well. And that'll be my final time handling the broadcast for that league as well. So you should come out because that one will be an excellent race. And next Sunday, I'm not going to be here again, Alex, because I'm going to be back at the Ellenbrook Speedway again, teaching some of the up and coming stars of the Dirt Oval Speedway how to talk to a guy who waves a microphone in their face.
Nice one. Well, folks, on your screen right now is all the all things Top Split, of course. Typically, we're on Top Split on Twitch, but of course, this and all the other races replays for all the seasons of Sunday Night Lights and Monday Night Lights are on the Top Split YouTube channel. Join us in the Discord server where we do the broadcast from and all the post-race interviews. And if you like what you've seen, folks, like, subscribe, all those sorts of things, thumbs up, everything you can do to help us promote the series and the category, because it is all about getting folks out there on the track for the community, by the community, as we say. And until next time, on behalf of the chaotic one, Corey Steinhauser, I've been your host, Alex McKellar, and I will say to you, ciao for now.